Hey, Roger Martin here from Billings, Montana. This is from previous post. This is really cute. This is President Trump watching, I think, 4-8 chant here on big screen TV. That's pretty cute. Anyhow, as this praying medic talks about the Q post, what's really important is what's going on with, and this post has been like third repeated post on this topic. And what it is basically it shouldn't be legal for these political parties to get taxpayer money to sway elections. It should be totally illegal.
Said, "Hey Q, missed you, sir. Hope all is well. Been enjoying the movie. Dems are imploding. Thank you, Jesus. It was getting cold in here." All right, so let's get to Q's first post of the day. This is a repost from a previous drop, and the original post was on November 3rd. It was then posted again on January 13th.
November 3rd and January 13th, and then again posted now. So this is 3 posts. We need to be paying attention to these multiple posts. This is telling us from Q that our taxpayer money should not be used to fund Planned Parenthood, and then Planned Parenthood should use millions of dollars to try to persuade an election like 2018 to go their way. They shouldn't be allowed to use taxpayer money to do that. That should be totally illegal. And they called it T-wash. That is just pathetic.
And Q reposted it today, and it's about what Q calls the D Party con. When you can't raise money organically through party or individual donations, the voter base, you steal it from the American taxpayer, and you give it back to yourself in the form of campaign contributions. Example.
Now, did you hear that? When you can't get it organically, you steal it through tax donation base, and then you give it back to you or donation to a party. Should be totally illegal. And heads should roll and laws should be made that they can't use taxpayer money to do this, to do these corrupt things.
Planned Parenthood, there is a link to an article there. $1.5 billion was provided in taxpayer funding to Planned Parenthood over a 3-year period. Case number 1, Planned Parenthood spent $30 million. That was disclosed, and the real estimates are closer to $65 million in taxpayer subsidies to influence the outcome of the 2018 midterm election.
Closer to $65 million to influence the 2018 midterm election. And this is just total war and crap.
Elections. Conclusion. The question is, should it be legal for taxpayer, Dems plus Republicans plus independents funded organization to donate massive amounts of money to the Democrat Party in an effort to sway an election? The Democrat insider term is T-wash. I believe this stands for tax wash. Reread drops regarding Soros and taxpayer funding. Your hard-earned dollars at work. Vote, vote, vote. All right. So Q reposted that crumb and asked last post before going dark regarding Planned Parenthood, which is in brackets. What events followed that post? Coincidence? Anons understand. Q. All right. So we're going to go back in a week prior to Q's last post and just look at some events that have transpired just this month. I should say the month of January. On January 7th, Ruth Bader Ginsburg failed to show up for Supreme Court deliberations for the first time in her 25-year career on the court. That same day, January 7th, Hillary Clinton and New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced their plan to get the New York State Legislature to quickly enact laws protecting abortion rights. Now, why would they do that? Well, 2 and 2 add up to 4. It's pretty common sense. Leaders on the left were obviously afraid that Ginsburg's declining health was a threat to their agenda. They knew Trump would be replacing Ginsburg pretty soon. They feared the possibility that with a new Supreme Court justice, Roe versus Wade, it might be overturned. That was coming at them fast, so they panicked. And they put out a mad rush to get legislation passed to protect abortion rights. All right. On January 13th, Q posted Charlie Kirk's tweet about taxpayer funding of Planned Parenthood. And then Q posted the drop about the D Party con. January 18th was the March for Life. On that same day, the 5th District Court of Appeals paved the way for the state of Texas to strip Planned Parenthood of Medicaid funds. This had to do with that video that was undercover video that showed them essentially selling baby parts of aborted babies. And then we have this. This is a news story that just came out either yesterday or today. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is asking that same 5th District Court to allow the state to end Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood immediately. There's actually an injunction. They can't do it yet, but the Attorney General is asking them to be allowed to do that. The state of New York passed 3 new bills. One of those laws is intended to preserve abortion rights, even if Roe versus Wade is overturned. That has kind of touched off a firestorm of other states that are looking at changing their abortion laws. Rhode Island, they are preparing an abortion rights bill. So is Vermont. Interestingly enough, in Indiana, Republicans are considering legislation to strengthen abortion restrictions. So not everyone is going in the direction of increasing abortion protection. The Supreme Court is about to rule on a Louisiana law that requires abortion providers to have admitting privileges at a nearby hospital. If that law is upheld, it would pretty severely restrict who could provide abortion services. The Supreme Court is expected to rule on that case very shortly, and that'll give us some indication of the new court's views on abortion. And of course, there's Virginia's failed bill that would have allowed full-term abortions. Lots of controversy over Governor Northam's statements ignited a powder keg of debate that is still raging right now. There's also now a controversy over high school yearbook images of Northam in blackface, and that is making the way on Twitter, so you'll probably see that on social media pretty soon. So his comments touched off a little powder keg of controversy. If we circle back around to Q's statements about the D Party con and Planned Parenthood taking taxpayer money and using it to fund campaigns, it was disclosed today, this is on Big League Politics, that Governor Northam received around $1.99 million in campaign funding from Planned Parenthood over the last few years. You can find that article. Just search for governor who endorsed infanticide, received $2 million from Planned Parenthood. It's on Big League Politics. Q posted what looks to be a stock image of a couple of F-15 fighter jets. You look at the file name, cis_conf_spec_y. I do not really have a good decode for what that means. I'm not really sure what the relevance of that particular post is. This is the file name. Sometimes there are messages hidden in the file names. There probably is this time. I don't know what exactly that means. Although it is interesting that this is General Flynn's latest Twitter background image. A lot of us follow General Flynn's Twitter backgrounds. For a lot of us, they signal changes in the seasons. And the background on this image is similar to the background of General Flynn's tweet. I don't really know what this post is all about. But that is all I have for you today. From Q, it is 3:52 Mountain Standard Time. I think Q just wanted to connect the dots with that previous post from January 13th about Planned Parenthood.
All right, we're going to leave it here. But Planned Parenthood and other groups have been using taxpayer dollars to fund campaigns, to promote their own Planned campaigns and agendas, and that should be totally illegal. And the battle for different states protecting their abortion rights versus limiting them is severely heating up. Again, this is Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. And a reminder that Ruth Ginsburg is not around, and they know she's not in good health, and they're concerned about losing the abortion rights that they have. Good day.